This is weird. You're all probably not used to seeing me here. Usually I'm in the back giving the wrong cues, forgetting to press the tape leader button, or getting yelled at by Tanya. All jokes aside, this is Izzy and I's last LTV show ever, and I cannot wait to see everything go downhill after we leave. Because let's be real here, I ran the show like it's the US Navy. As I bid you all farewell, I enter the real world of student debt and a mundane office job. I just have one thing to say. Later, losers. Hello. Or should I say, goodbye. I'm Jamie Smith.
And I'm Isaiah Clark. Jamie said a lot of things, but I'll just say this. Siobhan has soccer, Libby has golf, and me, I had volleyball before it was abruptly cut despite being one of the best programs at the school. And I'm never letting that go. You're watching LaSalle TV's home for sport athletics, SportsLine.
Welcome to SportsLine. We'll be pulling out our crystal balls to give you some predictions for next season, seeing as we only have literally 3 recaps today.
And later, in our last On the Sidelines of the season 24, Siobhan sits down with 2 men's soccer players to recap the spring season.
But first, let's take a look at our SportsLine top 3.
Number 1. After 4 years as head coach of the women's water polo team, Coach Tom Hyham announced his retirement this week. Hyham is only the 2nd coach in program history and led the Explorers to 51 wins over his tenure. The team made 2 appearances in the MAC playoffs during his tenure and also earned their first Division I win and first conference win. Last season also marked the program's first 20-win season.
Number 2, LaSalle Athletics recently announced their finalists for the end-of-the-year awards that will be handed out prior to the Student Athlete Festival. Awards are split between men and women and include categories like Rookie of the Year, Rising Star, and Performances of the Year. In total, there are 8 selections to be made and can be voted on at goexplorers.com.
Number 3. Dennis Manier was named NovaCare Student Athlete of the Week this week after his performance at the Penn Relays. In the high jump, Manier cleared a height of 2.09 meters, marking his outdoor best. The height is also good for best in conference this season. To find out more about the Penn Relays, stay tuned for recaps.
So I was really surprised to see that Tom Hyham announced his retirement from water polo because he was having such a good run this season, and it seemed like he was going to be poised to be able to take the team even further in the coming season. So to see that, he announced that he was retiring from coaching in general was pretty surprising to me.
Yeah, it is shocking. They had a really good regular season and a disappointing end to the postseason and the MAC championships, but I think they had a really good thing going, and hopefully they can hire somebody else who can keep that momentum going for water polo.
Yeah, and then Dennis Manier in the Penn Relays, he's holding best in the conference in the high jump, and he always performs very well in that event. He's always kind of a reliable guy to make, the top 10 for track and field. So it's really good to see that he's on that leaderboard. And also the student athlete, end of the year awards is going to be interesting to see who wins what. Unfortunately, this is our last episode of the season, so I won't be able to recap that for you, but you can vote for it at goexplorers.com, and it'll be interesting to see who wins what.
Absolutely. There's some golf nominations in there. Pretty excited about that, but every sport's represented, and we'll see how it pans out.
And that's it for top 3. Now let's see how our teams did in this week's recaps.
The Penn Relays happened this weekend where 3 explorers competed. Abraham Kadir ran the 5,000 meters, making the top 10 with a time of 14 minutes and 6.72 seconds. He's at the top of the Atlantic 10 leaderboard in this event, and this is his new personal best by almost 24 seconds. Olabisi Adams was up next, participating in the women's long jump, where she also cleared the top 20. Her distance of 5.53 meters placed her in 19th in the event and 13th on the league leaderboard. Finally, Dennis Manier tied for 7th in the men's high jump with a height of 2.9 meters. It was his outdoor season best and topped the conference in the event.
The men and women's rowing team concluded their penultimate races of the season after competing in the Bergen and Kelly Cup regattas this past weekend. To open up the day on the water, the men's lightweight second varsity 4 nearly grabbed the fastest time over Drexel as the 2 schools were neck and neck until the finish line, but took second in the hard-fought battle. The men's varsity 4 boat placed second out of 4 boats, outpacing Temple by just 0.4 seconds. Lastly, the men's varsity 8 boat took a third-place finish against some of the best boats in the country. The women's varsity 4 tallied the best showing of the Kelly Cup for LaSalle, earning a third-place spot against 3 other Philly rivals. Men's second varsity 8 boat were in a tight battle that slipped away late in the race to have them finish 5th on the day. To finish out the day for the women, the first varsity 8 boat were unable to gain enough momentum to push themselves past rival St. Joe's. With just under 2 seconds separating the two teams, the Hawks crossed the finish line first, leaving the Explorers to settle for 4th.
Men's golf concluded their season last weekend at the A10 Conference Tournament in Orlando, Florida. Matt Warner paced the Explorers on day 1 with a 4 over 76. Nikita Romanov was close behind at 77 as they headed into day 2. This is when Romanov would hit his stride, coming into the clubhouse at 2 under. This was the low score of the weekend for the Explorers. Matt Warner kept pace with another score of 76, and the men took 9 strokes off their day 1 score as the team headed into the final day of the event. The Explorers had a new team leader on Sunday as redshirt freshman Matt LaFawn made his spring debut and led the team with a 1 over 73. Romanov had yet another great round with 74, and Matt Warner finished his college career with the Explorers with his third 76 of the weekend. Carson Rush tied Warner at 76, and Logan Flores was close behind with 79. Sunday was the best team performance for the Explorers, scoring 299 combined. Men's golf will be back on the course next fall to pick up where they left off.
So those are all of our recaps for the season. Track and field still has some meets coming up, but Penn Relays is always a big one. And even though we only had 3 Explorers compete and 2 of them were field events, I still think that we did really well. A lot of them posted their personal best, which is always really good to see. You know, we talked about Dennis Manier before. Ibrahim Kadir posted his personal best in the 5,000 meters. So even though it wasn't you know, a huge showing out with only 3 people competing, I still think that we represented well in the Penn Relays.
Yeah, Penn Relays is a big stage, and it's great to see all of, at least the 3 performers do well in their respective events on that big of a stage.
And then with rowing, obviously not one of their better weekends, but it was still a really good weekend, which goes to show how competitive and how hungry this team is getting, because even though they were neck and neck with Drexel, St. Joe's, all these boats that are really some of the best in the area and some of the best in the country, the fact that they were still able to keep on pace with them, even if they didn't necessarily beat them, was, you know, it's really impressive to see. So maybe not their best showing of the season, but still goes to show how much improvement they've been making throughout the entire season.
Yeah, this is a team with a lot of fight, and I think we're seeing that throughout this entire season. They've won some trophies, won some awards, and even though this wasn't their best performance, they're still up there and making a name for themselves, and I think they'll continue to do that in this season and years to come.
And then we're rounding out with men's golf at the A10s, which, as we've said before on the show, it's the big stage that everyone tries to get to. So, Livy, take it away with that.
Yeah, pretty good performance from them. Disappointed, Logan Flores has been the team leader the entire season, and he fell behind a little bit in this event, but still in the 70s, all 3 rounds, incredible performance. And Matt Warner finishing his college career with 76 all 3 rounds in a row. That shows incredible consistency and fight from him. Nikita Romanov was really the star of the show this weekend, and he's had the best season average for the entire season, and this just really topped that off. So really proud of how he performed and the men's golf team as a whole.
And that's it for recaps. When we come back, I sit down with 2 men's soccer players to talk about the spring season. Stay tuned.
MS does suck.
MS mucks with your central nervous system. Almost everything about your body, your muscles, your organs, your ability to speak, your ability to understand, your ability to move.
MS took everything from me. Everything I thought was important, everything I valued.
I used to jump in a trampoline and swim with the kids.
MS has affected me being a mom because I'm sorry.
Despite MS, I will keep riding my bike.
I will continue to be the strongest mom that I possibly can.
I will still dance with my husband.
I will continue to live the life that my daughter expects me to live.
Multiple sclerosis may be a part of who you are, but it doesn't define you.
I will never stop. I will never quit.
I'm going to keep being me.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Welcome back. Dylan Kwasnik and Luis Puchol sat down for the last episode of On the Sidelines of season 24. Check it out. Hello, I'm Siobhan Nolan, welcoming you back to the last On the Sidelines of this season. I'm once again joined by some men's soccer players. I'm here with Dylan Kwasnik and Luis Puchol, who you probably know better as Pucci. So guys, spring season has wrapped up, you're done all your games. What, for both of you, just has the season been like, and what has it been like playing games against these oppositions with, this new team that you have?
I think it's been a lot of ups and downs. Like, we've seen some, maybe a little slow in the start of the spring, but, a lot of new guys, especially me as a new guy, 5 of us, coming into the spring, the team trying to adjust. So, yeah, a lot of slow at the beginning, and then I think it picked up towards the end where we started, gelling a lot more. Maybe not the results we wanted towards the end, but it is what it is. I think coming into the fall will be way better than we were this spring.
Yeah, I mean, it's been new for everyone. Even me, that I'm about to be a senior. I haven't had a full spring season. COVID hit in 2019 when I was just a freshman in February, beginning of March. So it's been tough. It's been, something new to adapt to. And as Dylan said, I think we have a great group, and coming in for the fall, we should have an amazing season.
And Dylan, you said as one of the new guys, you're trying to integrate into this team and become a part of it. What has that been like for you and the rest of the guys to, get recruited this spring and then play all these games and just try to fit into the team as best as possible?
I think it's been great. Everybody on the team has been great. I think what makes LaSalle what it is, like the people, and there's no better example than the men's soccer team. Everybody's been super nice, helpful. Anything you need, somebody's going to help you out with it. So coming in, especially as a freshman in the spring, it's been fantastic. No complaints whatsoever.
And Pucci, you're one of the more experienced guys in the team. You're going to be a senior next year. So what has it been like for you to watch them come in and just create the best team atmosphere that you possibly can?
I think it's a great position because I remember coming in as a freshman. I remember all the upperclassmen, juniors and seniors, being very welcoming. And as a freshman, it is intimidating coming into, for me at least, new country, new team, new ideas, new everything. So I think my role is to make all the incoming freshmen as comfortable as they can, help them adapt to the style of play or LaSalle in general. And it's not a pressure. I think it's a privilege being able to help them. So it's been great, honestly, and they've been easy to handle.
And the spring season you guys have faced a lot of great opposition. So what would you say was the biggest strength that you have shown during the spring season and the biggest thing that you still want to improve on going into the fall?
I think probably resilience, especially in the Drexel game, going down 3-1 and then making a comeback where we go 3-3 in the second half, or it might have been the first, I can't remember. But, we should have won that game in my opinion. But, unlucky goal, so it is what it is. Biggest strength going into the fall, I think our style of play has adapted to something that we really wanted to be at right now. The last 2 weeks of training have been, in my opinion, the best that it's been all spring. So, yeah, I think we're going into the fall looking really strong.
I agree. I think it's been progressive since January. I think what Dylan said at the beginning, it was a bit of a slow start. But then we regrouped. We talked with not only with between us, but with coach, and just share ideas, share different feelings that we had has helped us a lot. And I think that is something that we really have to work on and improve moving forward. But it's been, again, it's new. So we've had a couple games. They've been good, and just looking forward for it next season.
And there's a lot of upperclassmen, seniors that are going to be leaving after this semester, so meaning that you're probably going to have a big recruiting class coming in the fall also. So for you guys, what does that mean for you? What does that entail for you? How are you going to adjust with having so many new players come in all at once?
I think it's going to be great. I mean, you may look at it as like, oh, somebody's coming in and try to take your spot, but that creates more competition. That's honestly more productive for us. And Taylor and Meyer have been great in recruiting so far, so I think the guys coming in are going to be fantastic and really help us.
Yeah, we met a couple of them not long ago, a couple of weeks ago. They seem like great guys. It is true that I feel like we're in different mental states.
Yeah.
Going to be a senior, you have a lot of experience behind you.
Yeah.
You know how it works, you know the deal. And then you see these upcoming freshmen, and they're all super excited, super fresh, oh, let's go, love it, love everything. And then you're like, okay, here we go again, But it's great, and I think it helps us, seeing all the freshmen come in super excited, it helps us, the upperclassmen, to be like, okay, this is something that we have to work on. It's probably our last season for many of us, so we want to make something big. And of course, they want to be part of it, and they will be a big part of it.
And now that everyone's getting more of a normal, quote-unquote, season after the whole COVID craziness is over, do you think that's going to be an adjustment for you guys, or are you ready to just go right into the fall season, play normally, and do the best you can do?
I'm ready to go to the fall season. Spring has been tough, long, and I mean it's new experience overall. But I'm all ready. I know summer's in between, and I'm going to play for Reading, but I'm excited. I'm really excited because I think we have a great group, and since I came in here as a freshman, I think we've improved not only with players but with the mentality and expressing what we want to the upcoming freshmen and what our seniors taught us. It's been going down, so it's been. I think we have a really good chance of having an amazing season next fall.
And then addressing the kind of elephant in the room, if you tuned into our interview last week, Marco Chang, their teammate, named them for a few superlatives, so I just want to give you guys a chance to respond to that, give thoughts, opinions, comments. Because Dylan, you didn't get a bad one.
No, mine was good. I'd probably disagree with Marco.
Okay. Who do you think is the best dressed then? I'm curious.
I would say either Pucci or Carlos.
Okay.
Or any of the Europeans really. That they just have way better fashion sense than Americans are just
that's fair.
Shorts. Yeah. Exhibit A.
I mean, it's the athlete kind of uniform, I feel, yeah.
But this guy's dressed.
Of course.
Yeah, class.
We were joking about it.
Oh, yeah?
Coming here.
Would you have any response to what the two things that he named you for?
So, I mean, first off, I want to add Justin to the best dressed.
Really?
I think that's
I disagree with that.
Really?
He wears the same beanie.
It's a signature
He wears the same
look.
two beanies.
I think it's good.
Okay.
And then Troublemaker, unbelievable. The disrespect from a coming player, unbelievable. But I understand why he says that. I'm intense in practice. Yeah. And then waking up on the wrong side of the bed and catching me in the morning. Yeah. That's because I see his face every morning, so that's why I'm upset.
Understandable. It's early. You have to get there by 7:15.
Right,
I would be pretty mad too, honestly.
The worst thing is that I believe I'm a morning person.
Really?
So for Marco to say that, it's like...
You're in a good mood. Yeah, you're always in a good mood.
Yeah, unless we lose. Then
understandable, yeah. So now we're going to give you a chance to do some superlatives of your own. So first off, I want to say, who is the biggest complainer, guy who's always moaning and arguing with, your coach and other players?
Mine is clear. Should we do 3, 2, 1, say name?
Yeah.
I have a name, but he's not.
No?
Complainer.
For sure.
Or just someone who's always like arguing every single point.
Okay, you go first, and then I'll say if I agree, because I don't have one.
All right, mine is Justin.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For every little thing.
Yeah.
Everything.
He's always got something to say.
Yeah, but as Marcus said, he gets away with it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah,
It's
100%.
Yeah.
They're like best friends.
Yeah.
Him and Coach, best friends.
You can't hate him.
No.
As much as he complains, you can't hate him.
And so who would you say is the teacher, in this case, Coach's pet? Who's always trying to suck up to Taylor a little bit.
Okay, we can do 3, 2, 1. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Justin.
Isak.
Oh.
No, Isak.
Wait, I need to hear explanations now. Why Justin?
So, off his point.
Sorry, Isak.
Off his point, Justin gets away with everything, but him and Coach, and especially Maya now, they're all like best friends.
Oh, okay.
They're like buddy, you know, gets away with everything, you know, good relationship. But like on the team, that's like good. Like you need like having that relationship with the coaches where you can, you know, be comfortable with them.
Around.
Yeah, mess around. Like you need that. You don't want somebody like that's reprimanding you all the time. You know, it's a good relationship that we have with the coaches.
Yeah. So what, Isak?
That's actually really good. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Isak, I love Isak. He's one of my best friends. But he is the teacher's pet.
Okay.
He's not only captain, which that helps a lot. But I know that they talk a lot. They share a lot of ideas, which is great. Because I mean, as an upperclassman and captain, most of the time we agree with him. But we look from the outside as like, bro, come on.
Yeah, of course. So now that we know who, you know, is kind of the coach's favorite, maybe that's not the best thing to say, but thank you both for being here so much, making a great interview for our last one of the season, and we're very excited to see you guys play in the fall.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll look ahead to next year and give you some predictions. Stick around.
When you miss an episode of Q&A, you get hungry. When you get hungry, you don't know what to eat. When you don't know what to eat, you get irritable. When you get irritable, you miss questions on your exam. Don't miss questions on your exam. Watch Q&A on LaSalle TV.
What's up, man? What's up, Greg?
Hello?
Don't be nervous.
Are you the one who's been watching me?
We've been watching you this entire time.
Who is this?
You should already know who's watching you.
What do you mean?
It's us, LaSalle.
LaSalle?
LaSalle TV.
Oh, we are watching LaSalle TV.
Welcome back. The fall season will be here before we know it, so we have our predictions for how some of LaSalle teams will do.
So my favorite thing about golf is that they play in the fall and they play in the spring, so I always get to talk about it. So for recaps, the men's team has a couple men graduating, but a lot of juniors coming back. We have Nikita Romanov, who I said earlier played extremely well in the last event, and I think he will continue to build on those scores and build on that performance. I think he's really going to be the star for that team next year. I know they have a couple recruits coming in, possibly some transfers, so going to be interesting to see how the end of the season and this summer pans out with all of those recruits. Coaching should stay the same. Scott Jurgelevich, incredible head coach for them. I know they look up to him a lot. On the women's side, I know we do have a lot of recruits coming in. Hannah Bosler was nominated for the Rising Star Award on Go Explorers. She's had an incredible season, tied the best scoring average for a sophomore in program history. So I think she's going to be our star next year. Kaylee Zeman right behind her, incredible performance freshman and sophomore year. And again, like I said, the bottom of the team is still pretty strong and we have a lot of recruits coming in. So I'm excited to see how it all pans out. And I know we have a lot of cool events coming up, traveling a lot like we were in this last spring season.
And I'm talking about soccer, who's surprised. I really think that on the men's side, Taylor Thames didn't have the best first season, but they have a lot of people graduating. They have a really big recruiting class coming in, and I think just the leadership of the juniors and seniors that will be here next season will definitely help with that. They're getting more of an identity. They're figuring out more of how they want to play and how they want to utilize each person. So I really think that this is going to be the season where things are really going to start significantly improving. You're really going to see that big turnaround. For women's soccer, Paul Royal is still going to be on the coaching staff. He's been there for such a significant amount of time. He's consistent. He's established that identity. Women's soccer has a lot of strong, consistent players on their team. To my knowledge, not a lot of people are leaving, so they still will pretty much have the same team as they do last season. So I just really think it's going to be another consistent, hopefully a little stronger performance from women's soccer because they've had really dominant performances in the past. And again, last season wasn't their best one, but I really think that both of these soccer programs can bounce back and have their, really, really good performances this upcoming fall.
Yeah, and I like what you said about leadership. And I think with golf, with soccer, with even field hockey, those seniors and juniors are going to be the catalyst for these teams. They have to have leadership for the freshmen coming in. And as we've seen, freshmen can really come in and make a good performance. But
yeah, the fall season will definitely be one that we want to watch out for, and that just about wraps it up for us this week and this season. If you can't make it out to see the Explorer Report, be sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by visiting goexplorers.com. You can also check out on the digital edition of the Collegian, which now features SportsLine content.
Also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV and on Instagram at SportsLineLTV. We welcome you to send your thoughts and suggestions there. This week's poll is, who is the better producer, Jamie or Isaiah?
Well, they're both leaving us, so I don't like either of them right now.
I love them both.
But for our entire SportsLine team, thank you for another great season. I'm Siobhan Nolan.
And I'm Libby Gilliland. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the game.